Alright, good evening guys. My name is Daniel Fucinari, and today I'll be looking into why Nike is by far the most powerful sportswear market in the industry. And with that, I'll be looking into what really specific details Nike does that makes them stand out above the others. So beginning in 1964, Nike was founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman. And obviously Nike includes clothing, footwear, sportswear, and basically one of the biggest equipment sellers in the US and the world's leading supplier of athletic shoes and apparel. They make up about 38% of the footwear market, which is insane because that's not even including all the sportswear that they sell. And they even employ 44,000 people worldwide. So looking at competition, Adidas is by far the largest sportswear manufacturer in Europe and second largest in the world, but still to this day, even moving up in the ranks, they're way behind Nike in sales, and it's not looking like anytime soon they'll be getting close. But Under Armour is the second most popular sportswear manufacturer in the US, and they're the third largest in the world. With this, they've been slowly gaining popularity, but like the case with Adidas, they're not very close in sales. So looking at Nike's dominance, like I stated earlier with the global footwear selling, 31% makes up Nike, and that's from 2013. So they've already gone up over 7% just in a span of 4 years actually. Yeah. So no one's really getting close to them anytime soon. So what I'm trying to find out really is what specific strategies Nike has been doing that keeps them atop the sportswear foot chain. And I think the three details to mainly look at are advertising, where they place their ads and in the best possible locations. Sponsors, what stars they utilize to make them come off as the most popular brand to use. And globalization, moving their brand outside the country and gaining popularity because of it. So for advertising, Nike has by far the most online advertisements all over the internet, with over, to this day, 1 million ads just anywhere on the internet where you look. And when it comes to billboards, Nike has them all over the place. Going through cities, I'm sure you'll find 2 or 3 Nike billboards anywhere. They're just become one of the most popular tools for just selling any advertisement. And for television, this is where Nike really tries to specialize. They tend to look for sporty kind of events to get that kind of sporty crowd so they can sell those products and find out what those people want to see. And for an example, I actually have a television ad right here by Nike.
Is this the land history promised? Here, within these lines. On this concrete court. This patch of turf. Here, you're defined by your actions. Not your looks or beliefs. Equality should have no boundaries. The bonds we find here should run past these lines.
It's been a long time coming.
Opportunity should not discriminate. The ball should bounce the same for everyone.
Change gon' come.
Worth should outshine color. If we can be equals here, we can be equals everywhere.
Change gon' come.
Alright, so that was a very good example of a commercial starring many different athletes that are sponsored by Nike. And going into sponsored athletes, Nike tends to utilize their athletes better than really any other sportswear company. And they do that by being able to actually attain these cream of the crop stars that are being advertised. And with this, what they go for are these really long-standing contracts with these players so they can stay with the Nike family for a very long time. With this, a good example is LeBron James, one of the biggest names in just the sports world. And he actually right now has the biggest sports contract with just a $1 billion life contract with Nike. And I don't really see anyone else upending that anytime soon. So for globalization, compared to other sportswear companies, Nike does, with sponsored athletes, they do the best job of moving their products into basically the opposite side of the world, which other companies tend to kind of struggle with. And China has become the second largest source of profits outside the US for Nike, which is no big surprise based off of stars like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James visiting China yearly to advertise Nike and sell their products. Now, Europe has been becoming a stronger resource for Nike, but that is still an area owned by mainly Adidas. But hopefully soon for the future, Nike can work their way up and become more involved in Europe. Oops. So for the state of Nike, right now they own 38% of the global footwear market, and like I said earlier, that's not even taking into account all other sportswear, which they probably own most of also. And the continued dominance of Nike sales has only gone up since the brand was formed, so there's no surprise that they'll keep working their way up. And like I said, regarding the future, Nike will most likely be the top dog of sportswear sales for a very, very long time. Does anyone have any questions?